10,000 years ago, Finland did not yet exist as we know it today. The land was buried beneath a massive ice sheet, several kilometers thick. No forests, no lakes, no people. There was only ice. As the climate slowly warmed at the end of the last ice age, something extraordinary began to happen. The ice started to retreat, not suddenly, but gradually, over centuries. Where ice once dominated, bare ground emerged. Melt water carved vast rivers. New coastlines formed. And slowly, a new land was revealed. This was the beginning of Finland. As the ice retreated, the land did not simply become dry ground. One of the most dramatic changes happened where the Baltic Sea lies today. The Baltic Sea did not yet exist as we know it. Instead, the same basin shifted through several different stages. At first, meltwater was trapped between the retreating ice sheet and the rising land. This formed a vast freshwater body known as the Baltic Ice Lake. As the ice continued to melt, a temporary connection to the Atlantic Ocean opened in the south. Salt water flowed in, and the basin briefly became a cold, brackish sea. But the land was rising rapidly. As it lifted, the connection closed again, turning the basin back into a massive freshwater lake. For thousands of years, this cycle repeated. Lake, sea, and lake again. Shorelines constantly changed. Coastlines moved by kilometers within a single lifetime. What was once a shoreline became inland forests, and new shores formed elsewhere. For early humans, this mattered deeply. Fishing opportunities shifted, and travel routes changed. Settlements had to adapt or move. Only later, as new ocean connections formed and the land stabilized, did the basin begin to resemble the Baltic Sea we recognize today. Finland was not only emerging from ice, it was emerging beside a constantly changing sea. As the glaciers melted, Finland rose from the ice like a raw, unfinished world. The land was still reshaped every year by melting water and shifting ground. The sea covered much of southern Finland, while the north was only just becoming ice-free. Vegetation was sparse, at first mosses, grasses, and small shrubs. Large animals such as reindeer roamed the open landscape, and humans followed them. The first people to enter Finland likely came from the south and southeast, following retreating ice and migrating animals. They were hunters and gatherers, highly mobile, adapted to cold environments. They did not come to settle permanently. They came to survive. Between 9,000 and 8,000 BCE, humans began to leave clearer traces in Finland. Temporary camps appeared along riverbanks, coastlines, and migration routes. Stone tools, fireplaces, and hunting equipment reveal a people constantly on the move. Reindeer were a crucial resource providing food, clothing, tools, and transport. Waterways became natural highways through the vast landscape. Life was harsh and uncertain. The climate was still unstable, and resources could disappear from one year to the next. Yet people returned. Again and again. This marked the beginning of a deeper connection between humans and the land. As the climate continued to warm, Finland began to change rapidly. Forests spread across the land. First birch, then pine, and gradually denser woodland. Lakes and rivers multiplied as meltwaters settled into the landscape. Finland became a land of water, interconnected, navigable, alive. Human groups moved farther north and deeper inland. They adapted their lifestyles to seasonal rhythms, fishing in summer, hunting in autumn, enduring long winters. Stone tools became more refined, and camps were reused year after year. Knowledge of animals, waters, and terrain was passed down through generations. Finland was no longer just newly settled, it was becoming familiar. Between 7,000 and 6,000 BCE, life in Finland became firmly established. People no longer wandered without direction. They returned to the same regions, the same lakes, the same camps. Fishing grew increasingly important, supported by better tools and deep knowledge of seasonal cycles. Hunting became carefully planned rather than reactive. Communities were still mobile, but their movements followed patterns shaped by tradition and experience. This was a crucial shift. Finland was no longer just a place to survive. It was a land people understood, homeland. Between 6,000 and 5,000 BCE, something new began to emerge. Pottery appeared for the first time. This allowed food to be cooked, stored, and preserved in new ways. Daily life became more structured, and planning for the future became possible. Communities grew stronger, ties to specific regions. Skills became more specialized, and traditions became more defined. Trade and contact between groups increased. Ideas, materials, and cultural practices spread along waterways and shared routes. Life was no longer shaped only by nature. It was shaped by people. By the end of this period, Finland was a land of established communities, connected, skilled, and culturally rich. Between 10,000 and 5,000 BCE, Finland transformed completely. From ice-covered wilderness to forests, lakes, and human communities. The land shaped the people, and the people shaped the land. Everything that followed in Finnish history was built upon these foundations: adaptation, resilience, and deep connection to nature. This was not yet Finland as we know it today, but this was where Finland truly began.